experience working together probably for a time of 5 years now as teachers.
I think at least 8 years.
8 years as teachers? Oh, I'm wrong.
Yes. 2017.
Yes, yes. And I'm a sociologist by myself, just sociologist, and Eric.
I'm a registered nurse and yes.
Yes, and in that chapter we tried to collaborate in writing with a few of our students, but that doesn't work at the end of the book. Instead of that, we co-authored the book and we made a very nice experience in finalizing the chapter. And initially, we used one of my stories, the so-called back pain story, to make our students familiar with autoethnography. But after having that book in my hand, I could say we would do it now a little different. But let's start with more general remarks.
Yeah. Maybe I put it. It wasn't easy for me to start with ethnography as a nurse or a registered nurse and health and care scientist. It took some time, for me to think differently, to try that new approach and become familiar with that research method. And I have the feeling that the more I read autoethnography or write autoethnography, the more experience I have, and the more I'm able to teach that method to our students, and they are more able to write good autoethnography. And I think especially the really good ones of our students, they write meaningful stories that touches me as a teacher, and I have to sometimes to make breaks when reading these stories because they are really good or really sad. And I think in this year's teaching of ethnography, I become better, and I want to help our students to become good researchers. And yeah.
And good health practitioners in various fields. Because at our university department, we have students in in programs from nursing to healthcare promotion to midwifery, physiotherapy, and so on. And even we have master programs in public health nutrition, and we have a PhD program. And to be honest, there are just a few students who had passed our module in qualitative research with a great part of autoethnography, remembering at the end of their programs that they could pick up that as a topic for their final thesis. And that makes us as a writer, a co-writing team, sometimes a little bit sad, because we thought, oh, you've learned so much about writing your stories, about using your professional experience for your further career and your qualification work, and that doesn't happen quite often. And Eric is one of the students, now not anymore a student, but a PhD student and a full member of the teaching team. He trusted in my ideas and advices to use autoethnography. And probably you could say what happened since those early beginnings.
what happened was maybe that it's about subjectively to be a subject, to take the subject perspective or my subject perspective serious, and as well the subject perspective of our students and what they are writing in their documents. And for me, it started the process of thinking different of qualitative research methods as well. It's maybe not about the interviews or some autopsies, but to take the own emotions and the own thoughts serious and use this as research material.
And I gained a lot from our discussions because Eric is one of the students who brought in own theoretical ideas, something like the boundary objects in our research project. And that is a wonderful experience for me as a professor and teacher since more than 25 years now. And yes, I would advise all students to trust the things they or we offer in our programs. And it would be very nice to have the experience that autoethnography, even at a PhD school for public health in Germany, would be a well accepted approach. And for that reason, I would say we both decided to use the book in our regular programs because Edwina's part with the operating theater would be a great piece to appeal to attract our students in different programs. Then Joshua's poem from another chapter would attract our health promotion students, and the pieces David and Andrew wrote will be of great importance for our PhD students, and the things about poems and loss of a child would attract our midwifery students. And I would say it will be very nice to stick on autoethnography and to avoid the suspicions of our colleagues who try to be very conventional in their methodology. And Eric will give a presentation in the poetry session. We have just an experience of offense against his approach to write a PhD on the basis of autoethnography. While I was away, colleagues of mine questioned his PhD, long approved with the expose and all. And that is a dreadful experience again. But anyway, we both know that my back pain story is no longer needed as a central story in our teaching. We have a lot of very nice things in that book and
a lot of examples. Our students often ask when we teach autoethnography for more examples, and we can use a lot of these stories from the book and from the journal as well.
And it's all about sharing
Yes.
experiences.
Yes. Yes.
So, Edwina, thank you very much for this discussion. Something really interesting that you had the opportunity to share, to have that continuing bond actually, and you two have that together the similar story of in them in childhood around you. How did you think that bond reflected teaching?
If you start sharing things about you, you're a lecturer, it's beginning to, I think it helps, other people totally disagree. But I think the more you can chip away the boundary between you and students, the better you build a relationship with your students, help them grow. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
And even the undergraduate students, they need to know that writing a journal article or writing scientific paper is not something you can do in one day. And in those processes, we faced, we can share our fears about empty pages, and that way few of them could be more open to universities, because we have a very mixed we have very mixed cohorts. Few students with very good academic skills, but we have students from non-academic backgrounds and from different countries with different learning cultures. And for those, it is essential that they experience us as vulnerable people too. And I assume on first attempt, it could be a shock for a student to read something like your story or our stories. Then, on second attempt, it is very good to provide them with that.
I felt hugely privileged that Michael could share the story of making a mistake in such a high risk, high pressured area. You know, he'd actually turned the anaesthetic machine on. How awful must that moment have been for him when he realised what he'd done? But I was so privileged that he felt safe enough to share that. Because as health professionals, so it's a huge risk. But he said, if I don't share it and I don't understand it, I'm never going to learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Edwina. I'm the lecturer at the University of Southampton. So my focus is on master's students, ethnography, and just about last weekend that was something to that. Once again, it's a lot of issues about gender and MSc, not a lot. So also ethnography, property, and that is not that. Gradually, the actually. I just wondered if you've got any advice that I'm confident that our auto is we are help and we can very good evidence.
Keep going, keep going, keep reading, keep going. You know, I still find it really disheartening when my colleagues say to me, I managed to get, I'm dyslexic as well, so the opportunity of publishing is just amazing for me. And I show them the chapter and they take a look and go, it's really disheartening, but you haven't been converted yet. I'll keep working on it.
I wonder whether it's mentioned that so and you mentioned taking the subjects of previous. How would people know without them taking a risk in doing that?
Exactly.
Where would you hear the story that someone tells you on our research doesn't do it? So that's sharing.
And who else will do science, will produce knowledge about social processes, phenomena, often hidden under the carpet. It's no way to do it without a very sensitive way of investigating. He is one of the best, I would say, to do that.
One would go even further to say research our models doing
Yes.
their structure
Yes.
to write the really comfortable. We actively
Yes, especially in healthcare, they often work on the bodies or beneath the skin of other people, and then they can't believe that creating knowledge is all about the relationship between people. And even we have classic stuff as Anselm Strauss and other people mentioning the relationship between the research and the research object or phenomenon.
Yeah, I think that for me, research, when we talk about the subject, sometimes it's the majority of research actually yeah, absolutely. Like food. It comes to mind. We were trying to. It really came through. I love it.
Thank you for listening.
Hi, it's Marie Meekin from the University of Edinburgh. I just want to thank all of you for doing the online. Incredible to hear what you're doing for health and bringing the stories, because I've been reading a lot of my projects about fertility. So that includes the health service and what we've done. And I've been reading a lot about return patient experience and collaborative medicine, teaching the doctors and the medics to talk about the narrative. And I think you've contributed to that. You could ever. So I'm so grateful and draw from that. So thank you so much.
You might just want to check if there's anything online that has any comments. You see that happens. As long as we're okay. Yeah, do you want to say to contribute online? They have, but they're not. They don't. So 30 seconds a minute for comment. Can I just say then, thank you to all of you for responding to the invitation to write something. Because at the time we invited you, we weren't sure exactly what we might get from you, how that you might craft a text, whether your students want to be involved. So it's really great that you all decided to take a chance and write something about these experiences. And, you know, the purpose of the book was to exactly go to the field
And so that is psychology, pharmacology, nursing. And you're doing a great job. There's a lot in your chat.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Pascale, for chairing the session.
But, yeah, no, thank you very much for your contribution. Looking forward to having further discussion with all of you. During the coffee break.
Hello everyone, I'm Teppei Tsuchimoto from Waschnig University in Japan. To be honest, I am very nervous about presenting this my session. So at first yesterday it was very hot, so it was difficult for me to breathe and relax, and the nature around us in UK, in Bristol, is I feel very too large of the tree, the largeness of tree. So I feel very uncomfortable for being here now, but maybe gradually becoming better for yeah, during this conference. I hope so. I'm very honored to speak as one of the contributors to Autoethnography Pedagogy and Practice book. So the story I will talk to you is not a poetic one, I think, but I'll try to describe my chapters as an introduction. So we will introduce our chapter later by some person. So, and our chapter reflects on the development of autoethnographic community in Japan, one that grew not within the university mainstream, but rather around or edge of it. In Japan, there are still very few academic programs that teach or learn qualitative research, and even fewer that especially explicitly include autoethnography, same as other countries. And this absence led us to form a grassroots community, originally called the Study Group on the Self and Qualitative Inquiry, and later renamed on the Forum on Autoethnography and Poetic Inquiry. In our chapter, we collectively explore questions such as how did we come to autoethnography, each from different personal and academic paths, and how did writing autoethnography change the way we understand learning and research, and what institutional or cultural constraints have shaped or limited our practice. Oh, last one. What does this community mean to each of us, and what do we hope it will become? What emerged from our conversations was not a single pedagogy, but a crystallization of experiences. Each of us brought our own personal stories fragmented, and by sharing them through conversations to feeding into with others, those stories were illuminated by one another and were richly and multidimensionally reconstructed. We believe that pedagogy in autoethnography is not a fixed method or a concrete procedure, but something that emerges from our personal histories, developing through deep ethical processes such as exploring our relationships with others and the world, and engaging in deliberation on the self self and others relations. The experience of the other is never independent, never separated to us. It carries the possibility of being a potential future I might have lived. And so their story is also mine in some resonant, affective way. So this understanding lies maybe at the heart of our community practice of autoethnography and our pedagogy of autoethnography. We are currently preparing to hold the third national forum of autoethnography in Japan, as I said, in September. The fact that we have been able to continue this work is thanks not only to the commitment of our organizing team, but also to the encouragement and inspiration that we have received from this autoethnography community. Here, I would like to share with you my own journey into our community of autoethnography. When I studied during autoethnography during my PhD, I quickly realized that there was no community for it in Japan. I didn't want to simply follow translated ideas from other countries. I wanted to internalize them and make them part of my own theory and practice of cultural psychology. So with a few peers, I started study group of the self and qualitative inquiry. That small group, first 4%, eventually grow thanks to regular presentations, online meetings, and peer support. And in 2023, something changed. After years of connecting online via COVID, we finally met in person with my colleagues. And some of us attend the International Conference of Autoethnography here in Bristol, and we met you. So it was such a warm, ethical, and welcoming space, and we felt at home. So the experience inspired us, the experience of being here inspired us to make a similar, something similar in Japan. We recreated our community into the new forum, the Forum on Autoethnography and Poetic Inquiry. Our first gathering had over 100 participants online and in person. So, autoethnography offers alternative ways of creating knowledge through dialogue, empathy, and lived experience. Here, knowledge is not something merely accumulated, but dynamically enacted, emerging through relationships and reflection. Yet, such a mode of knowing requires a community and space where stories can be shared and heard. We hope that the birth of this new community of us makes a small but significant space toward reminding how knowledge is created and practiced in the social sciences. I would especially like to thank Edwina and David for giving us the opportunity to contribute to this volume. We are truly honored. Thank you very much. Few of our co-authors will now each speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Not all members will present it, but those who do will briefly introduce their respective sections of our chapter. Through these short presentations, we hope to offer you a glimpse into our journey to share some of our experiences with you. Thank you. So, next presenter.
Okay,
Yeah, can you sit close to the microphone?
Okay.
So, people online can hear.
So my name is Nozomi Fujisaka, and my story in the chapter is about how this community supported me in my research using autoethnography and what I learned through the experience.
When I was in elementary school, my classmates and I faced oppressive guidance from our homeroom teacher, but many of other teachers and parents wasn't aware of the serious situations, like saying, "You did something wrong," or "It is for your future." And as the year passed, I entered university and decided to study those issues through autoethnography in terms of sociology of education. Then, but my supervisor expressed concerns, saying, "I'm wondering if this can be a sociological problem, or I do not think that autoethnography will help you to achieve your dissertation." In the face of such adversities, the member of this community supported me, like they listened, tried to understand, encouraged me to persevere. Their support was instrumental in helping me successfully complete my undergraduate research project. This experience made me realize the importance of the mutual support and warmth, especially for those of us who choose to challenge the status quo. This connection foster better results, particularly when we don't always receive encouragement for our choices. And that concludes my presentation. Next, I'd like to hand over to Yusuke.
Hello everyone, my name is Yusuke Katsura, and I'm really delighted to be here. I'm currently a postdoctoral researcher at Ritsumeikan University, and I feel I'm in a dream because I was just working online 20 minutes ago, and I was just running, coming here, and this magnific situation, meeting with you all of a sudden. And it's for the first time to come here in the UK, and I'm still surprising that yesterday was so boiling, and now it's so cool. What's going on? Anyway, I first came across autoethnography while writing my master's thesis. I felt that existing academic concepts were unable to adequately explain my own experiences. Before entering graduate school, I gained a variety of experience, including farming in rural Japan and spending 2 years in West Africa. Initially, I began researching Islamic culture in West Africa, but I soon felt that I was caught up in discourses that clearly separated them from us. And it was not me who separated, but if I follow the discourses, automatically I should divide such caught up in such kind of division. So I was really uneasy because when I was spending there, I never felt them as others, just friends and kind of families, and so that's why I try to write my own experiences to overcome such division. And at the same time, as Nozomi stated, there were many obstacles writing about my experiences because it was not admitted as a rigid way of describing academic papers. So, but somehow I could write my master thesis with autoethnography, and feeling that I needed more people to do this with together. And then I found his community, and yeah, I'm really glad that I could meet you and all of you, and thanks so much for everything. And next, who's next? I forgot to say, regarding the pedagogy, I created a word, auto-discipline, which is not existing disciplinary research, but we are creating our own discipline. How to say auto-discipline? I don't know if it's a good word for this happening. Aya?
は
すみ
い。
ません。1分でお願いします。
Hello, we can hear you.
Can you hear me okay? Yes,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Aya. I attended this conference in person 2 years ago, I think. But unfortunately, I couldn't only attend online this time, but it's nice to see everyone again, even virtually, and to be still connected like this. So in my part, I share the story of how my past self, a high school English teacher in rural southern Japan, met the world of autoethnography. I started with a dream of changing English education, but after 3 years, I left the classroom disillusioned by the gap between my ideals and reality. And in grad school, I fell in love with the depth of dialogue in interviews. During my PhD, I interviewed women from rural Japan, women just like me. And the more I listened, the more I saw myself in their stories. And eventually, I knew I had to turn inward. That's how autoethnography became central to my work. And it wasn't easy, just like many others here maybe have experienced. My supervisor warned that autoethnography was still risky, especially in Japan, but joining this community gave me the courage to continue. Tomorrow, I'm also presenting another collaborative autoethnography project with some of the members here. And in that talk, I describe autoethnography as deep sea diving, exhilarating and freeing, but also risky and intense, a special experience. So I'm deeply grateful for autoethnography, for the community I met through that methodology, but I'm still drifting, carrying unsolved dilemmas and mixed emotions. And I hope to keep opening space for dialogue within that drifting. Thank you very much. So I think the next person to speak is Miho-san. So over to you.
Thank you, Aya. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And hello, everyone. I'm Mihoko Motooka. I'm happy to see you all. After graduating from university, I went on to become a primary school teacher, but left when I got married to concentrate on homework and bringing up my children. Then I became a child care worker when my children were older, and now I work in child care training. When I was in postgraduate studies for my career in child care training, I realized that not many people thought in the same gender role obsessed way that I had been forced to. I was confused because I felt that affirming a different way of life was like denying what I had always been. That's when I met AE. Having peers and listeners who were empathetic to my experience helped heal the small ones I had unknowingly created, and gave me the determination to purpose my own unique way of life. Based on this experience, I felt strongly that I had the potential to influence the way people live their lives. My idea of pedagogy is not possible without how to stay in touch with others and cultivate one's inner self. AE resonate with my view of pedagogy. That's all. Thank you. Next presentation is Naoko.
Yes. 横山さん、ごめんなさい。時間的に30分になっているので、簡単になんか1分ぐらいでお願いできますか。
Hello everyone, my name is Naoko Yokoyama. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Since joining this Japanese autoethnography group, I have come to understand why I became a nurse and what motivated me to support patients. As I came to understand myself through impressing patients' abstract suffering through poetry and tanka, I began to realize that they are people who cannot express themselves in society due to illness or disability, and others who are hidden from Japan's society. Participating in Japanese autoethnography group has allowed me to blend my own perspective on care with the realities of care in Japanese society and the experiences of their directly affected. Through this process, I have come to realize the importance of uncovering the stories of those who have been marginalized by society, such as those with illness or disabilities. I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to learn alongside this group and all of my today. Thank you always. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you. I can't imagine what it would be like if I tried to present in Japan. I think it could go very long. So thank you. I know it's a real big challenge to speak English. I think when you write something down, you've got an opportunity to correct things and get people to comment on it. So it's not so apparent the work that you're doing. But to everyone online and to all of you, thank you for your contribution to this conference and to the book about the work that you do in Japan. And it's a manifestation of how we can collaborate. So we have a lot to learn from you, and thank you for doing it. So we look forward to your contribution for the rest of the conference, and we have to take a little break here now. But thank you very much, and we would like us to give them. And lunch is being served.